Hello, this is History Gamer C, and today I'll be doing something different. So I've had this idea for quite a while, and it's basically going on Google and typing in Japan, and where there is a place where people also ask questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now, it's going to be, of course, about Japan, but there's other stuff I'll try to, you know, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Okay, so first question of people also ask, does Japan have an air force? Yes, they do. They have an air force. I think it's been around for around 2 to 3 years, and basically, um, they're sort of rearming themselves since America is not helping them more and more, being military. Um, But yeah, and so Japan needs to protect themselves because they have two massive countries breathing down their neck, which is Russia and China. Um, is Japan a military power? Japan a military power. Oh wait. I should also ask when say that once I say yes or no, basically I will go uh, uh, pull it down and so to see like the answer. So the Japan Air Self Defense Force, Koku Jietai, I think that's how you pronounce it, or GASDF, Japanese Air Self Defense Force, also referred to as the Japanese Air Force, is the air warfare branch of the Japan. So they should say Japanese Self-Defense Forces, responsible for the defense of Japanese airspace and for the aerospace operations. Is Japan a military superpower? Uh, yeah, I wouldn't say they could be. They could be, but they have like a self-defense force, so it's not really a military, but kind of. Yeah. I'd say no, because let's find out. Japan was ranked as the world's fourth most powerful military in 2015. Wow, Japan is a cultural superpower in terms of the large-scale influence Japanese food, electronics, automobiles, music, video games, and anime. Yeah. Um, how long is the prime minister's term in Japan? I would think 4 years, kind of like how the president has 4 years in office. So I'm thinking 4 years. Prime Minister of Japan, Prime Minister, yeah. Nominator, National Diet, what? Appointer, the Emperor. Term length 4 years or fewer. Yes. Inaugural holder, Ito Hirobumi. Hirobumi. I don't know. So can Japan go to war? Like they can. Um, they kind of can, but they would be annihilated by America. And or if America won't be the one to fully destroy them, then China or Russia will be the ones to take them out. Japan, under the post-war constitution, Japan is not allowed to have any offensive military forces. Its Article 9 declares the Japanese people forever renounce war as a sovereign right of the nation and the threat to use of force as means to settle international disputes. Yeah, they can. They can. does U.S. protect Japan? Yes, but they're slowly declining. They're slowly pulling out troops. They're not helping them as much. And what is it? They do have probably the biggest naval base in Japan. So that's also kind of scary and kind of reassuring. So, why did Japan attack America? Well, basically, it was so that America wouldn't think of attacking Japan. So that's why they attacked Pearl Harbor, so that it would slow down and everyone would not dare to attack Japan, which it was the opposite, and so that's why, what is his name? Yamamoto said, basically, he said, I fear that all we have done is awoken a beast and filled him with resolve, I think he said. But his first thing was basically punch him really hard in the nose and then watch him run home crying. Okay, so let's see. Let's find out if I was right. If it would ever go down. Let's refresh it. Okay. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, then next question. Is Japan a U.S. ally? Yes, they are. They are a ally. Why can't Japan have an army? It's because, they've just, no, it's, after what they've done in World War II, no, just no. They're far too, deadly, and so if it would happen another time, it would just be terrible. So they didn't want a not third world war, but they didn't want any more war. Who is Japan's closest ally? Oh, I would have to say America. The United States, yes. Who is Japan's best ally? 28% remaining battery. Who is Japan's closest ally? Who is Japan's best ally? America. United States, yeah. Are Japan and Russia allies? I do not think so. There is disputed land between them, basically right next to that really skinny island, kind of on the west part of Hokkaido, the very north part. If you look up, there's that skinny part. If you just basically go to the middle of that skinny island and then go all the way to the east, there's these little tiny islands. Japanese people live there, but Russia basically sends a battleship or warship there to say, hey, this is Russian territory, and this is not your territory, so don't bother. Don't think that this is your land. It's kind of like the old man, what is it? Like the old man, get off my property! Sort of. You can remain, but this is not your country. This is not your country. So, yeah. Maybe it's bumpy. It's a bumpy road. historically, the two countries had guard. Also, the Russo-Japanese War, where Japan actually won a war against Russia, even though, and actually Japan, if you think, oh no, they're probably really horrible, this was during, before World War One. This was like 1905, I think, when it ended. Actually, what happened was Japan was becoming an industry power. They kicked China's ass, and then they're gonna do it to Russia because, well, Japan wanted to be like America and all these European powers, which she is to colonize. So they took out all of Korea, which was originally from the Qing, I think, Empire. And then they went up into Manchuria, where Russia had their territory, which is like the kind of, if you go like to like the northern eastern part, basically it goes to the top all the way down. That's basically was all Russian Empire. But basically Japan, their tactics were terrible. It was basically always bonsai charging with mass numbers, and there's always, for the Russians, they always thought that it was that they did this because they had another plan, or other soldiers just that were moving around, and basically if there were other armies in nearby, basically they always needed to their commanders always needed to say, okay, go over there, but they failed to do that. Russia almost got into a conflict with Britain at that time because they sunk, I think, 3 British fishing ships and or merchant ships. They actually destroyed their one of their own fishing ships. There were 2 people fishing so they can collect fish to give it to the Tsar, who was basically, Tsar was the emperor at that time. The whole Russian Revolution was basically for, everyone to basically get the Tsar out of there, and basically in being a more industrial power. So countries cordial relations until a clash, territorial ambitions in the Manchuria region, yes, Russo-Japanese War, region of northeastern China. What did I say? To the Russo-Japanese War in 1904. Yes, ending in a Japanese victory, which contributed to the weakening of Manchuria. What did I tell you? Am I right or am I right? Ending in a Japanese victory, which contributed to weakening of the Manchuria in Russia. Yes. Why does U.S. have military base in Japan? Basically to keep an eye on Japan, so they won't go, because the last time Japan was in the League of Nations, which basically was, they couldn't take over the world. So Japan wanted to take over the rest of Manchuria. Everyone said no because you're in the League of Nations, and Japan said screw it, and then just took over the rest of Manchuria. And I think they put of course another, I think it was like the prince or the emperor of that region in charge, because he was sympathetic to the Japanese cause, which, at that time was really popular, and puppeting. So yeah, so basically keep an eye out. At the expiration of the treaty, the United States and Japan signed a new treaty of mutual cooperation and security between the United States and Japan. During the Vietnam War, U.S. military bases in Japan, especially those in Okinawa Prefecture, were used as important strategic and logistic bases. Oh, I was wrong. But I think it was also. Who wins World War III? I don't know, because what does it say? CBS War correspondent Bill Donzin 1951, that to my mind, the answer is yes, Korea is the beginning of the World War III. The British landings in Incheon and the cooperative efforts of the American armed forces. Are they talking about the Korean War? In efforts of the American armed forces and the United States allies have won us a victory in Korea. 1951 basically was the beginning of the end, sort of the Soviet Union. Basically, the Soviet Union did not like Britain and the U.S., and just after World War II, the alliance fell apart quickly. Who is America's greatest ally? I don't really know. They have a bunch of allies. Certain Britain shared to us. Oh wow. Partnership American investment in the United Kingdom reached 255.4 billion in 2002, while Britain direct investment in the United States totaled 283.3 billion. Wow. But since my phone is going to die, and this video is actually pretty long, then I'll say, if you really liked it, please subscribe and comment in the comment section down below, and please leave a like. Until then, see you next time. Bye.